Alright, what's up everybody and welcome to CG Market Watch Live. This is JJ Andy and today we're gonna talk about a topic of Bitcoin takes 5. What does that mean exactly? Does it mean it's gonna take its place, give its place against, all the stable coins that we have available, or is it just taking a break right now? Alright, so let's look at the 24 hours volume, to kind of understand what is happening within the market, right? So in terms of market cap, we are still hovering above 210 billion. So that's kind of like a good news. Of course, we did see the market cap going up to about 217 billion to 218 billion when the Tether pump came in. Right, and 24 hours volume of course has dipped slightly, and we are now seeing that it has gone below 13 mil, and that's the other sign that we're looking at. All right, and when we click into 24 hours volume, the interesting part is you could kind of see that, okay, let me just go into 7, okay, let me go into 1 month. All right, we could kind of see that there was a huge movement in terms of 24 hours volume at in fact 2 days ago, right, at about 17 billion. This on 24 hours volume, so that's quite a significant move based on just how slow the market has been for us recently. All right, and it did also went up to about 21 mil, yeah, so 21 billion, sorry. So that was the movement that we actually kind of seen just a few days ago. So what's interesting to note, just for this particular session, is we need to talk about Tether as well. So I think Ryan actually made a great point about stablecoins yesterday. So I'm not going to be covering the same content as he did, but let's just review what has happened just across a day, 24 hours. So we can see that Tether is now hovering at minus 0.14%. Okay, as drop was minus 0.49%. So the true question here is, has the market kind of recovered from the Tether FUD? Has it kind of responded to it, and are we ready for the next movement upside, or whichever movement? Is Tether now considered still a safe asset, or basically a safe hedge, right? So that's a lot of question that it's in most traders' mind. So what we have seen is also two particular articles covering from CCN that Tether market cap sinks to 2.2 billion as another 250 million US dollar Tether exit circulation. And we can see how how Tether actually falls below the dollar parity. It was said to be $1 to $1, but now in fact Tether has dropped below that $1 value. So what exactly does it mean? Does it mean that the confidence have returned to the market, or are we still missing out certain stuff? All right, and for the very fact is that we also have another article from CCN that Tether is rumored to have found a new bank, and it might be in the Bahamas. Wow, right? So anyway, we could see US dollar pegged cryptocurrency as a market cap is said to be holding its fiat reserves at Delta Bank, which is based out of Nassau, right? So we can kind of see that, hey, all this is happening in the market. Tether is coming back. In fact, Bitmex is giving more confidence in that. They are enabling their fiat withdrawal and deposits, that enhancing the systems, and so is the market, or is Tether really a safe haven or a safe hedge, right? So I mean, a lot of people pretty much know, whenever we talk about Tether, it's a very sensitive topic no matter which chat you go to on Telegram. Some people will say it's a scam, some people claim that it's a scam, some people say it's true, it's real. What about the competitors then? So when you look at true US dollars, let me just refresh this quickly. We have dipped about minus 1.005%. It's now still above parity at $1.02. Okay, Pesos, PAX, has went up 1.01 US dollars, still above parity. Gemini US dollars is now at 1.03, and we can see USDC now at 1.02, right? So all these different tokens, or what we call the so-called stable coins, have kind of enjoyed this particular downside in Tether, or this Tether FUD particularly. And so question here is, have we recovered, or are we out of this yet? Are we out of this particular Tether FUD yet? My true answer is no, right? But of course, what is happening right now in the market is we do see a pretty much consolidated BTC pricing, all right? And that has an impact on the odds movement as well, because BTC odds movement are governed by BTC movement. So when you kind of look at the charts, particularly I did two charts here. All right, of course we are comparing between Bitcoin Tether and Bitcoin US dollars, and this is on Binance, and while this is on Gemini. All right, so let me just show you what's the main difference here. Now, Of course, I think on Monday I already addressed how different the charts look like, and the price difference and the price discrepancy. So I won't go ahead and emphasize it too much. But what I just want to show you is how different the chart it's kind of like for now. You can see kind of like a descending, like a triangle that's being formed here. Of course, it's more like much like a flag forming. And to me, honestly, I look at it as a kind of a negative, or negative down. There's a downside to it. Of course, we could kind of see that it's still it's above the cloud, Kumo cloud, which kind of shows you or tells you that it's a good sign. And we could also see that EMA 50 and 200 is showing that the golden cross pair has crossed and it should be going up, right? That's most of our assumption here. But the truth or the fact is, to me, what I personally feel is that the price between the Tether side and the US dollar fiat side will normalize. So when they normalize and they average out, they'll reach a certain point, or kind of like an average, like a mean. All right. So when they kind of average out, they reach to a point where we call the balancing point or the equalized point, and that is the new Bitcoin's price we should be looking at. Now, I mean, what we are familiar with previously is that Tether's price and the US dollar's fiat price discrepancy, or the arbitration point, shouldn't be that big of a difference, right? Now we're hovering between $300 to about $450. That is a huge difference because of this Tether FUD. So what I personally believe is that we will kind of the gap between the Tether's price and the fiat price will get smaller and smaller. It will minimize by itself, and we should see a mean coming out in the next few days. Now, because today is a Wednesday, we are saying Thursday and Friday, as most of the time it's a take profit Thursday and Friday. So personally, I would see a small movement downwards, or be a significant move downwards as people or traders start taking profit off BTC. Be it into which asset, it's a bit hard to tell you right now, but personally for me, I think the price need to normalize in order for normal trading to go off and move forward. But if not, we should see some consolidation happening, which is already taking place in the market. So what you can see here is there's a support level. I personally am looking at 6635, 6550 levels, and of course, being more pessimistic, I will also be looking at 6004 and so on and so forth. Now, I'm taking also reference from the previous similar shape like this. We also see it happening a few times right here, and a few times within the chart that something like this pattern occurs, right? So if this is a very, very strong upside and up run, right, I'm not going to take this week as a consideration into my charting. So we're just really looking at this point in time and this particular consolidated range. All right. So personally, I do see that this flag will play out. We might see some downside. I personally don't really see that we have much upside. The only possibility of this going up or with more upside is if the Tether FUD kicks in again and people say that Tether is dangerous, there's no banks backing it, so on and so forth, and then people will start offloading their Tether again and going into not safer asset, but at least certain strong cryptocurrencies like BTC or F and so on and so forth. All right. So that is the only kind of possibility that Tether could BTC US dollar Tether can pump. Is if news like that kick in again. Okay, if not, we should just see personally that it will dip slightly because of a parabolic movement. We should see some dip coming ahead. So it will most likely be between the range of 6,500 to about 6,300. This particular range is what BTC Tether could go to. All right, potentially. In terms of Gemini wise or US dollar fiat wise, I personally believe or see that we are seeing this particular channel forming. It's a very nice upward channel forming upwards. So you can see how fundamentally different the chart is, right? So if I'm just isolating this and looking at this point of view, this looks very positive. But if you're looking at Tether's wise, it's not looking as well or as pleasant. So personally on a Gemini point of view or for BTC fiat, we do see a potential upside potentially, but this particular yellow line would be the resistance level for BTC at least, and we may see some downside coming and moving forward. All right. Right. So now in comparison to Ethereum, Ethereum is showing kind of like a triangle as well. It's normal consolidation. Why? Because it takes reference from BTC. All right. And of course, FUS dollar shows different consolidated channels and ranges. And personally, this particular range looks very similar to the previous one and the previous one. So we may just see the same kind of pattern playing out where we do see a certain dip coming. All right. So apparently when we look at the candles right now, you kind of see that we're close to the upward channel or the resistance on the upward channel, so we may see some downside coming and moving forward. So this has huge, and because F takes huge reference from BTC's price, we may also see some downward action on BTC as well. So you may kind of conclude that I am kind of negative on the market, or I'm not as optimistic on the market. It's just because personally, I feel that this particular pump on Tether's price, or odds against Tether's price, or BTC against Tether's price, it's not entirely a fundamental reason. There has no sentiment or fundamental reasons to support the volume in pushing BTC. So unless you're justifying for the fact that not only just the Tether FUD, we have institutional money flowing in, we have fresh fiat and funds coming in, moving the market in unison with this particular Tether FUD, for instance, then that is supported with volume. If not, this Tether FUD that's caused by, of course, Tether's implosion won't have a lot of impact on the market upside because we are lagged in terms of volume. So there's no fresh fiat coming into the market, and therefore the movement will be very limited. And therefore, and also because we see huge movement, on Monday, there is a need for correction and reversal, and definitely taking profit from the market by traders. And most likely it will come in the next 2 days or so. So that's my own personal belief, all right? And this is not financial advice, just a quick disclaimer here. Anything can happen in crypto world, right? So one last news quickly. I think this is just talking about the potential utility value of cryptocurrencies. 194 million was actually moved using Bitcoin with 0.1 fee, or $0.1 fee. So a 10-cent fee actually allowed a particular Bitcoin user to transfer 29,999 BTC worth 194 mil with a 10-cent fee, right? A transaction with banks would cost tens of thousands of dollars. So this is kind of talking about use cases, right? And we have cross-border payments, we have remittance going in, and in fact, I think this particular research went on to say that if you were to just transfer $1 million across the world, it would actually cost over $7,500 in transaction fee for that just that $1 million. So imagine that if I were to send 194 million across to the next another part of the world, it will cost me a hefty amount in terms of fees. But instead, for this particular transaction, it only costs $0.1 fee. All right, so that is kind of like we emphasizing and talking about use cases of cryptocurrency. And look, guys, you need to understand one big point of view is that if you're looking at cryptocurrency in short to medium term, it may not be very, very exciting. If you're talking about day trading or swing trading, of course, definitely to me, it's swing trading and position holding. That'll be more exciting as an investor. Of course, opportunity comes here on and off for cryptocurrency market because of how fuddish the market is, right? You have so many different kind of FUDs that could cause the market to move, and therefore there are still pockets of opportunities here and there. But the whole entire idea here is, guys, take profit regularly. Be very, very careful, and do understand the risk that you need to manage, and at the same time do understand that as many stable coins that can come out at any point in time, that I can, we could kind of just predict that in the next few months to come there will be even more stable coins trying to be created. They will say they are backed by FDIC, gonna be backed by insurance, gonna be backed by a lot of different things, gonna be backed by banks, huge institutions. But the whole entire idea here is about adoption, right? Because the only reason why Tether kind of wins in a situation is not only because it came in first, but because it has most pairings. So I think we need to kind of gauge and judge based on the number of pairings, and also based on amount of volume that's going through, based on these different stable coins. All right, so is the stable coins really, really stable? It's fiat currency even stable on its own? This is my greatest question. What exactly is stable in this world, right? So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to CG Market Watch Live. Do share, comment, like, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Let us know, how we could improve on CG Market Watch Live. And I'll see you guys on Friday. Take care.